Something essentially has caught my attention today, and to be blunt, it's called trade management. Now, that seems to be wow, wow. I heard one of the pro day traders say that uh, it seems like when a subject matter is becomes conscious, that subject matter becomes awestrucken, kind of a subject matter, as each concept in a maze of day trading is concerned. Each thing that has become conscious becomes incredibly powerful and awestrucken, and and the word wow is used quite often to say, oh, you know what, that's what it is. And the reality is this: there are pieces to day trading, and many of these trades happen. And the reality is, a it has to occur with a symbiotic relationship between one thing with the other thing, just like the entry is important. Uh, the stock is important. Which stock to choose is important. Um, and and the other part, yeah. So right now there are a couple of things that are incredibly important. One of them is the size is very important, because if I size too big and something happens, that could essentially just just cause the emotions to pop up. That's one. Second part is which stock to trade, because certain stocks don't move much on a certain day. So that's important too. And the third part is, where do I get in? That's also a very important thing. Okay, so those are important things too. Now that I've uh, now that I've looked into day trading for a little bit, it occurred to me that um, when I am in the trade, I tend to lose a lot of money when the trade goes against me, and that 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 is under the umbrella of trade management. And what I've noticed, like just today, I would take just a little piece of the gains that I have, and then I would see about 30 minutes later, had I held it, it would have been like 2x, 3x. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, what, I could have just, and the emotions start to percolate. So essentially, these elements are essentially, if I were to hold a training course, I would highlight the major points of day trading that is very, very important. And right now, I've come across something called trade management. Trade management allows me to exit as soon as possible, and then or hold on to something that is gaining. So this is something that is incredibly important, uh, because for the same trade that I make, with everything set up the same way, if my trade management is not set up right, I will be shaken out of the tree and then take a little bit of profit, or even on a small drawdown, take the loss and find out that it actually reversed, and then it just started climbing, and I would see myself looking at the trade and saying to myself, my God, had I held it just a little bit longer, it could have been a totally different day. So trade management is understanding what, after I'm in, um, what do I need to do? What should I be looking for? And the other part of these things are, after being confirmed in certain trades, should I be enhancing my trade? Should I be um, should I is it possible for me to add? Is it possible for me to is it possible is it possible for me to do certain things within the realm of trade management? So now I've come to the point where I'm essentially evaluating which 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 it was always there. This trade management thing was always there, but I was not good at it. Nor did I know any concept of what trade management really is. The reality is trade management happens. It just happens. Even if I haven't made a trade, that is trade management. Trade management happens even if I haven't made a trade. The thought and the planning that's required is part of trade management. That is trade management. Trade management falls, and what is most critical is if I just pick any random stock, as long as my trade management is good, the reality is this. I could get into any stock. I can pick any stock. I just get in. And then as if my trade management is great, even if I have a 50-50 chance of winning, I could become profitable just by trade management. That's how powerful trade management is. I need to discover this. Wow!